Okay. Ruan, what are you looking at on your iPad? Okay. Why we are cannot understand the most basic things is because y'all never listen to the most essential or most basic of what the topic is about. Like Jovis now still talking. Then in the end you just see the solutions. They don't make any sense to you and you just try to duplicate or replicate the solution. Then you don't know actually what you are writing. You don't even know what you own self mean when you write something. Okay? So for fractional indices, we have to go back to something more basic. What does square root means? If I want to find square root of 4, many of you are able to say what is the square root of 4? 2. But what is the actual meaning of square rooting? Square rooting is when I square root 4, I want to find out what is the number that multiply by itself to get 4. So actually when I square root 4, going to the most basic is I go and change. 4 is 2 times 2. That's why square root 4 is 2. Okay? This is the most basic. Can? So, if you all don't want to listen, don't need to be in this classroom now. Okay. Another way of writing 4 is actually 2 square. And 2 square itself is 2 times 2 already. Okay? Why is it 2 times 2? Because I split the 2 equally into 2 parts. 2 square, I split it equally into 2 parts, become 2 times 2. So if I were to go to another number, let's say I want to square root 81. If I were to write 81 as 3 to the power 4. 81 is actually 3 to the power 4. Then, if I want to find out what is the square root of 81, if I don't have a calculator, if I don't know what is 9 times 9 equals to 81, from 3 to the power of 4, the most basic of square root is what multiplied by itself become 3 to the power of 4. Then from there, can you see that I can just equally split 3 to the power of 4 into 2? I just split it equally into 3 2 times 3 2. Then, what is the result? What is the square root of 3 to the power of 4? It is 3 squared. Okay? Because this is the most basic, or this is the basic idea of what is square root. I want to find out what multiplied by itself become 3 to the power of 4. Okay? So I can give you any number. I can give you 5 to the power of 8. If I want to find the square root of 5 to the power of 8, what is it that I want to do? I want to simplify or change 5 to the power of 8 into something times something. Itself times itself. And what will be the itself? Because when I multiply 5 to the power of 4 times 5 to the power of 4, I am going to add up the power. It is going to become 5 over 8. 5 to the power of 8, sorry. Okay? So, every time, can you see that when I take the square root, what is the result? 3 to the power of 4, end up because I split them, 3 to the power of 4, square root already become 3 to the power of 2. Okay? See the pattern? 5 to the power of 8, square root already become 5 to the power of 4. Can you all see the pattern of the square root? What happened when I square root and what happened to the power? Okay, one more. It can be any number. This one can be very, very big. But as long as I'm going to square root it, if I split it equally into 2, it will be, then when I square root, can you see the pattern? What happened to the power? Ruan, what did I ask? So again, this is the reason why you all don't do well. You come here, what should be your success criteria when you attend a lesson? End of the day, you want to pass your math. You want to do well for your math. But from my observation, now what is your success criteria? You are very happy, come to class, I talk to my friend, I look at my iPad, my teacher never catch me. Wow, I win. What do you win in the end? You fail your math. You fail your WA, you fail your exam. Is that the success criteria you are looking for? Is that the win that you are looking for? Because it is pretty obvious to me. I hope it is obvious to you. When you listen in class, you pass your WA. When you don't listen, you don't know, you fail. It is as straightforward as that. So when you choose to not listen, when you choose to be looking at some funny thing on your iPad, when you choose to be doing your eyelashes, when you all choose to be having fun, you are choosing to fail your math. You are choosing to do badly. End of the day, are the things very difficult? Is the pattern very difficult to spot? Or is it too simple that you think it is not important? Then why in the end are you failing? It is so simple and you still fail. Okay, what I asked was, can you see the pattern of the effect of this square root to the power? When I'm square rooting a number, what happened to the power? What happened to the power? Even from the easiest number, what happened to the power? Why? It is always divided by 2. Why? Because we always split this equally into 2 parts when we are taking square root. Okay? So, if I don't like to use the square root sign, what is the square root sign actually doing to the power? What is the square root sign actually doing to the power is it is dividing the power by 2. So the square root, having a square root sign is the same as halving the power. Okay? So, every time we have a square root, if we don't have a calculator, how do we calculate? We write it as if it is a halving the power. Dividing the power by 2. Okay? Furthermore, if I am not square rooting, I am taking it by the root of 3, cube root. What is actually happening if I have the number 8? Cube root of 8 is 2. Why is it 2? Because I am finding out what is the number that multiply by itself 3 times that become 8. So 8 is actually 2 times 2 times 2. Which is why cube root of 8 is 2. Okay? When we are square rooting, we equally divide this into 2. But when we are cube rooting, we divide this into 3. Meaning, (27) is made up of 3 times 3 times 3. That's why when I cube root it, it becomes 3. Okay? So this time, we are dividing this number into 3 equal parts to multiply by itself. So, if my number is 2 to the power of 6, if I want to take cube root, this time I want to have 3 equal parts multiplied by itself. Can you see that? I should have 2 So when I cube root, can you see a relationship between the power? This time is divided by 3. It can work for any number because I am splitting this into 3 equal parts. So become 3 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 4. So again, if I don't go through this, can you see that the effect of the cube root is actually dividing the power by 3? Why square root is 2? Because actually square root disappear again. Actually square root is the by default one. Here is 2. Okay? It is by default a 2. Because there is no other smaller number, so by default we don't write this 2. So for square root, we will not see a 2 there, but it actually means a 2. Okay? But by default we don't write. So end up, every time we take any root, let's say I take 5 also can, 10 to the power of 20. I know that actually I'm just going to divide my index by this number over here. Okay? Because I'm going to split this equally into 5 same number to multiply by itself. That's why it is always, the effect of the root is always become a division in your power. Okay? Then let us take a look at your workbook. 4.3, page 122, question 1. Okay, the effect of the root is to divide our index. So when I'm taking the fourth root of A, express the following in index notation. By default, when we never write any power, the A actually has power 1. So when I am taking the fourth root of A power 1, I am just going to divide the power by 4. This is the answer. If we go back into Y, then we are actually finding out what multiply by itself 4 times become A. So the only possible is like that. Then by now you know your indices. When I multiply these 4 same number, I'm adding the power. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equals to 1. Okay? That is why. But once you know, we can always just divide the power by 4. I don't need to go through this. I don't even need to write this second step. If you know A is actually power 1, you don't even need to write this step. Okay? So let us take a look again. Done? You go, why you write so long? Not so many things, right? Okay, let us take a look again. It may look complicated at first, but if we break it down, go into the basic, what is actually happening? There is a bracket. This bracket is to the power of 4. Then when I look inside the bracket, what is inside the bracket? There is a fifth root of B. Okay? So the bracket is being to the power of 4. But what is inside the bracket? Fifth root of B. So we can do things step by step. I do what is inside the bracket first. They want me to write this in index notation, but now there is a fifth root of B. So I first change this to index notation first. The fifth root of B just means dividing the power of B by 5. Power of B is 1. That's why inside the bracket, instead of writing the root sign, I write it just as the index. Uma. After that, the next step is what we have learned in the previous topic. B to the power of 1 over 5 to the power of 4 to the most basic. If you cannot remember what to do with the power, go back to the basic. Power 4 means multiply by itself 4 times. Then when I multiply same base together, I am actually going to add up the power. Multiplying same base, I add up the power. So end up actually I'm going to have 4 times of 1 over 5. So if you don't remember, you can go through this. If you remember, you don't even need to write the green color one. Just take the power 4, multiply the power 1 over 5. Then it will become b to the power of 4 over 5. Okay? So actually this topic is just about changing the root sign into a division in your power. This whole topic is all like that only. Okay? Let us take a look at another 2 questions, then the rest you all try. What this means is I am going to take the 7th root of c cubed. So what will happen? I will divide the power of c by 7, like that only. Okay? So they want you to also realize that your index can be a fraction one. It don't need to be a whole number. Okay? It can happen that your index is a fraction. Okay, I do one more, then you all try the other 2. Not yet. Like that only leh. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line only, finish already leh. Okay. One divided by cube root of e. So do things one at a time. Cube root of e means e power divided by 3. Okay? Then I can also write it as bring this whole thing to the numerator and then I change the positive to negative for the power. Can. Okay? Either one also can. But you must know you can change. You can change something, bring it from denominator to numerator or bring it from numerator to denominator if you change the sign of the power. Denominator go to numerator, then positive 1/3 become negative 1/3. Where did the negative come from? At first, my e is 1/3, but it is in the denominator. But if I bring this to the numerator, I bring this whole thing to the numerator, then I can bring, then the index will become negative. You all learn this in negative. Okay? So I can write it as like that. I can also write it as like that. Then when it's divided by 1, I don't need to write the divide by 1. Okay, try part D and part F. Not difficult. Three minutes. They just want you to change the sign to the how we express it in the power. Wrong. Square root is by default 2. Square root is by default power 2. There is a 2 here. So you are going to divide this index of this number by 2. Square root is 2.
2.5.
Yeah. Go, go, go.
Oh.
Where did 2.5 come from? 5 divided by 2. Square root means divide the index by 2.
Like this. You switch the right edge. I'm left-handed. Convert.
Why? Why do you need to convert?
Thank you.
Kasrina call me. Yes, Yixing. What are you touching your iPad for? Oh, okay lor. Yeah lah. Let the Geo call your parent lah. Hey, why you all taking so long? Because you're looking at something else on your iPad. Yes.
Is this correct?
No. By default, it's not 1. By default, is
So like that.
yes.
How do you?
Same lor.
I don't understand.
It is the same as this one, what?
Yeah.
Part F is almost the exact same as part B. Go, go, go. Yes, correct. Got so loud, meh? Really, meh? I can't even hear myself. That's because I deaf already. Okay, I hope you all have tried. Okay, by default, the square root is a 2. Because there is no one root one. One root is just divided by itself, so we don't even write the one root. So the smallest root that we use is square root. So it is 2 by default. So just divide 5 by 2. That is your answer. Okay? So if you understand, then it is actually not that difficult. You just divide the power. Okay. For part F, what is happening? Do things step by step. Don't need to go and skip a lot of step 1. What is inside the bracket? I do what is inside the bracket first. F, cube root. So F by default is power 1. When I cube root, it becomes 1/3. The power 1 divided by 3. Then after that, when I square the bracket, it will multiply 1/3 by 2. Then if I want to write it as the numerator, it will go to the numerator and then have a negative in the power. One over 3 times 2, because when I take the whole number, square the whole number, it is going to multiply the two index. Okay, so whenever we are dealing with algebra, all these indices, you see each of the steps. 1 divided by 3. What is the difficulty of writing 1 divided by 3? Then when we square, we are multiplying the index. What is the difficulty of multiplying 2 with 1/3? So actually all the individual steps are very simple one. It is how to put them together. That is the big picture. You need to have the big picture, then all the smaller things are actually very simple. Okay, question 2. Hello. Evaluate the following without using a calculator. If in the exam they say don't use your calculator, that means they expect you to show a certain working. So if you just straight away press calculator, write the answer, you won't get the mark because they expect you to show the working. And what is the working? For this one, they want you to show that you know 27 is 3 cubed. If I don't know, how do I go and write 27 as 3 cubed? I don't have pen. Got pen? If I don't know 27 is 3 cubed, if I don't know 27 is 3 cubed, I will go and do my prime factorization. Can divide by 2? Cannot. Can divide by 3? Can. Can divide by 3? Yes. Then I can write my 27 as 3 cubed. And then the cube root of 27 because 3 divided by 3 is power 1. Okay? So the prime factorization you learn in Sec 1, you still have to apply them. Similarly here, what is 32? If I don't know, I go and do prime factorization. Can divide by 2. 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 So 32 is actually 2 to the power of 5. Okay? So when they say don't use calculator, they expect you to show this. 32 is 2 to the power of 5. Then answer 2. Okay, I do part D. Later you all try part C. Okay. (64 square). Do I want to go and multiply out? Wow, 64 times 64? No. I want to work with simpler number. So 64, I go and break it down. 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 64 is actually 2 to the power of 6. (64 is 2 to the power of 6. 64 is being squared. So my 2 to the power of 6. Hey, Yixing, you go out lah. Or both of you go out lah. One stand at the front, one stand at the back. I say already, you write no use one. It's the explanation. You don't understand what you are writing, you go and write also no use. Go outside. Bring what you did lor, your workbook lor. You stand outside, still can listen and write down. Jovis, go. But I keep hearing you talk. Go, go, go. Bring your workbook, or else how you listen outside. Hey, one at the front, one at the back. Because I want to leave the middle for Adam. Adam going out very soon also. Okay. I have changed 64 to 2 to the power of 6. I write 64 as 2 to the power of 6. Jovis, at the back. I want to see you at the back. Are you moving? Go, go, go. Okay, 64 is being squared inside the cube root. So I have written 64 as 2 to the power of 6. 64 is being squared means my 2 to the power of 6 has to be squared. So what is the square of 2 to the power of 6? I multiply the index together. Then, taking cube root is dividing the power. So, 12 divided by 3 become 2 to the power of 4. Hello. Okay. 2 to the power of 4. I cannot leave the answer as 2 to the power of 4 because they say evaluate. All these are keywords. Same, your WA2, some of you don't know what is simplify. Ask you to simplify, you go and find the value of x. Find the value of x is solving equation. Simplify, you are just writing something differently, simpler. Evaluate means we want the numerical answer. So what is 2 to the power of 4? I must go and multiply. 2 to the power of 2 is 2 times 2. 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 16. I must write out the final number. C, your try. Six C is similar to 6C is similar to part B, 1B. Try 6C. Okay, help you get started. 1,000, 3 zeros. So what is it? it is 10 to the power of 3. 10 times 10 times 10. So 3 zeros already. Okay? So we don't need to change it to 2 times 5. Just use 1000 equals to 10 cubed. No. What is inside the bracket? Inside the bracket is cube root of 1000. So you go and figure out what is cube root of 1000 first before you square. Just divide this power by 3 ma. 12 divided by 3 is 4 ma. Okay. For me, I will not put the square there. Why? The bracket is outside the entire thing. Actually, it doesn't matter. But then I would rather, for now, both can. But then I would rather you go like Ruben like that. Go and figure out what is cube root of the 1000 first. Yeah. Can also, by say like what I say, it is correct, but you haven't finished yet. This also haven't finished yet. Evaluate means you need the final number. Yes. Yes. Answer is 100. Okay, what is inside the bracket is being squared. So I don't want to go and square first. Go step by step. Later you will find that actually you can do the square first. But rather you follow. Just cube root of the 1000 means I want to cube root 10 to the power of 3. 1000 is 10 to the power of 3. So if I cube root 10 to the power of 3, I will get 3 divided by 3 become 1. So inside the bracket is just a 10. Then when I square a 10, I get 100. Oh. Okay? Then, listen. Some of you, no, this is the answer already. Some of you, instead of cube root first, you bring your square inside. You go and square this first. Become 10 6. Also can. Okay? You can give the power to what is inside first. Also can. Okay? Then you will get the same thing. Okay, Ken, we move on. Simplify the following, expressing your answer in positive index notation. Okay? So actually by now, you all should know your index can be a fraction. But do I have to do anything differently from what I have learned? When I multiply same base, I add the index. So actually no change. When I multiply two numbers, same base, I still just add up the index. Just that this time I'm adding fractions. Okay? Then how do I add fraction? Make same denominator lor. Then become 2 over 4 plus 1 quarter, become 3 quarter. Or you can also use calculator, go and help you do. Half plus 1 quarter is 3 quarter. Okay, C. So multiply, same base, we add the index. Division, same base, we subtract the index. So also still same. Nothing has changed. What you learn is still the same. Is still correct. So same base. Base is C. Then C negative 1 quarter divided by C 5 over 4. I will take negative 1 quarter minus 5 over 4. Minus 1 quarter minus another 5 quarter become negative 6 quarter. Okay? Then going back to the question, they want us to answer in positive index notation. So they don't want me to have negative index. Don't want me to have negative power. How do I change negative index to positive index? I shift from numerator to denominator. Then it will become positive index. This is the simplify already. Sorry. I supposed to simplify, correct. Become 3 over 2. I forgot. Both can divide by 2. So 1 over C to the power of 3 over 2. Two-minute break. Break then finish already lah. Continue to try B and D. Those who finish early, take a break yourself. B and D. Adam, I think I really don't want you in my class also leh.
So is that 1/6? What's that? It's so small. 6, right? It's the same as A, right?
What same as A? Yes. Same base. So, when multiply numbers of the same base, we add the power.
Stop touching water. Wait, cannot just keep water.
So this one, now the index.
Shari put his dirty hands when you touch his shoe. Are you dumb? Why you put 3/2? Oi! I chose unemployed. What job? Another bag in your pocket. Where to go? The water.
Continue number 4.
It's just one big thing.
Okay, multiply, same base, add the index. Simplify. Then finally change it to positive index. I move the entire b to the power of negative half to the denominator. Then the index will change from negative to positive. Okay? For part D, we have d square and e negative 1 inside the bracket. So this negative 3/2, the power must give to d square, must give to e negative 1. So when I give to d square, 2 multiply negative 3/2 become negative 3. Multiply to the e, negative become positive 3/2. Then the d is negative power, the e is positive power. So I don't move my e. E is still the numerator, d go to the denominator. Because 3/2 negative multiply negative 1. Negative times negative become positive. Two positive times negative 3/2. Two and two cancel, so negative 3 lor. Okay, Ken? Question 4. Hello. What is a square root? A square root is a to the power of half. Half plus half. A. Okay? Square root of a is a power half. Here also a power half. Then when I multiply, half plus half lor. Same base, multiply at the index. Become a power 1. Okay, I do part C, then later you all do the rest. Change. First one. C, then 2 over 4. The multiply no change. Then the second C become C 5 over 2. Simplify. Same base, add the power. Answer. Zoom in. Fourth root, so divide. The front is still here, the back is still here. Just take the index 2 divided by 4, 5 divided by 2. Then after that, same base. 2 over 4, simplify, then same base, add the power. Yes, yes. Zoe, now I know why you take so long already.
Not very colorful, right?
That's when all this technology become a hindrance. What is wrong with just using pen to write?
No, you see, right? I like color to understand better. Because I separate color by one. That's how I
Then have different color pen, no? Also still faster to write with a pen.
Yeah, but waste paper.
Who care about wasting paper?
I care about the earth.
Then you care about the earth, you shouldn't be worried about the paper.
So then you should buy me a notebook because I don't have a notebook. I have no money. This is free from the school. So obviously I'm gonna use it, right? Exactly. You get what I mean?
I get you are finding excuses.
Yeah, you're also using iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I need to project. The other way is I write on the whiteboard.
I use this because it saves time and it's convenient.
It doesn't save time.
No, but all my subject is in this one app, so I can study outside.
You can look at different books.
Yeah, but like paper very light.
There is no need to be paper friendly. The way to save our environment is through technology. You learn faster, you learn better, the earth will be saved.
是讲的。
You're learning the wrong thing.
Yeah, but I've never heard someone say this type of speech. Like, I've never heard someone agree on that thing.
Because they stupid ma. I'm not the smartest. Smarter than a lot of people. Okay. Try pasi padi on your own.
Oh no!
It may look complicated. Just do it one step at a time. What is the one that you should do first? Do. Each of the steps is not so difficult. Okay. Homework. Part B and Part D.
Wait, I think I can make it. Wait, where don't go? Where don't go? I can do it for you, bro. Come on.
Okay, class 10.
What? Yeah, not to buy that.